You're going to want to pay extremely close attention. The rules are changing, and if you don't know this information, you're more likely to be on the losing side than the winning side. I'm really excited about this. Dean Graziosi, Mike Filsain, Katrina Ruth, Ryan Dice, the one and only Russell Brunson, Sonia Riccati. We have Molly here, Todd Brown, Roland Frazier, Mike Dillard, Jeff Walker, Neil Patel, Dennis Hughes. And I think that there's a high risk of mass extinction of internet businesses.
Millions of businesses, big and small, closed, pushing us into the worst global recession in history.
The writing is on the wall because things are changing, things are happening.
Change in the industry that's forcing people to evolve and adapt or basically die.
You need to see this to understand it.
Something like that will happen. You can write it in blood.
If there was a tactic or strategy that you were most excited about, what would it be?
We can go as deep as you want.
I call this content sprouting.
These strategies work for any social media platform.
If you believe it's a good idea, you should stick with that.
When your business becomes part of someone's identity, that's when they stick.
This is really crazy. I don't know if I ever shared this with you. Waste the least amount of money to find that winner. That's how you win for $1 a day.
Now, I have people that are on my list for 2 years that are still opening the emails.
To get this many amazing people in a room, just amazing.
We're about to take you behind the scenes.
I love what you're doing here. This is amazing.
If you want to know what's happening in the future, tune in now.
All right, how do I? Hello. Whoops, why do I have live with StreamYard? I really don't want StreamYard live show. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Hello, everyone. Rich Sheffrin here. Happy Tuesday to all of you. It is a beautiful sunny day here in Delray Beach, Florida. In fact, it's so nice out, I left the door open, so hopefully that doesn't bite me in the ass a little bit later on. Let's see here. So hopefully you can hear me and let me know if, well, it looks like you can see me and hear me, so that's good. Where should we start? Well, let's see. My name is Rich Sheffrin. I do these live streams every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesdays from 2 to 4 Eastern and Thursdays from 6 to 8 Eastern. I thought this week we would talk a little bit about scaling and really focus in on what is, I believe, to be the most important metric out there as it relates to scaling. And so I want to spend some time talking about that. And of course, I want to answer any questions that you have about scaling your business, because these live streams are always much better as a dialogue as opposed to a monologue. I don't have a bunch of prepared notes in front of me of stuff that I just want to relay to you. It's more that it's a chance for me to hear what maybe you're struggling with and then give you my best seasoned, experienced advice on how to bypass whatever obstacles are currently holding you back or whatever friction is in your way to getting your business to where you want it to be. So in the spirit of it being a dialogue and not a monologue, please comment, emote. If you're watching on YouTube, then give a thumbs up and subscribe. Have had a lot of recent success on YouTube from my friends Vincenzo and Bren. And so happy to be here. In fact, this is the highlight of my day today. And so let's make it great for all of us, I guess. So let me know where you are. Let me know that you're watching. The more you comment and emote and especially share, the more you help me get this message out and help other entrepreneurs online grow their businesses. So please do that. And if you do share it, put #/shared or #shared, so that this way I can thank you personally. And let's see. I think that's it. Let's say hello to everyone, and then we can kind of get into it. I'm also really looking forward to sharing more of what's going on back here. We're in the process of changing my whole office here, and the goal is that I can have like 2 other sets here. And so when I feel like sitting down and smoking a cigar with you guys, I can do that. And when I don't know what the other area is going to be yet. I have this big, huge massage chair there right now, and I hardly ever use it. So I don't like it there. I kind of like what's in my view to only be the things that I use very frequently. So that's kind of where I'm at with that, but we're making progress. I had the home organizer here yesterday, and she was certainly helping. And so let's see here. Let's see who we got here. We got Kayvon. Hello to you in Vancouver, and thank you for sharing, Kayvon, so much. And here we go. So I think you have to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook so that you're registered with StreamYard, so that I don't see Facebook user, but I actually see your name. Isabella's in the house from Germany. Good to see you, Isabella. Happy that you're here. And hello back to you, Facebook user in Haiti. Thanks, Isabella. I love that you love it. Hey, Marcelo, good to see you, and hope you are kicking ass in Italy. And hey, Deb, happy Tuesday to you too. And Lisa in Miami Beach. How is Miami Beach treating you today, Lisa? Such an amazing event. Thanks, Deb. Vincenzo's in the house. Ciao, Rich. Ciao to you, Vincenzo. Tuning back in from Tampa, Florida. Bright and sunny here today. The sunny metric. Yeah. Went for a walk this morning at like 6:30 with Kim. We went to Starbucks, walked down to Atlantic Avenue, and on the way back, like at around 7, I guess, when the sun was just coming up, it was just so nice out, and just wouldn't want to live anywhere else right now. That's for sure. Rajesh, great to see you again, my friend. And thank you, Rich. All the best to you, sir. Well, all the best to you, Mr. Facebook user. And glad that you're here, even though I'm not sure who you are. So maybe you'll go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, and then we'll know. Hey, Teresa is in the house, and Michael McQuarrie, someone I worked with about a zillion years ago. Michael, I don't know if you've ever seen the video I have of Antique Boutique, but I don't have it loaded up today, but I can certainly have it in the live stream on Thursday, where you're actually in it quite a bit. Hey, Connie from Del Mar, California. Nice to see you. And Stefan from Serbia, hanging out with my girl, just came to say hi. Well, say hi to your girl for me, Stefan. Good to see you. I hope you're kicking ass in Serbia. I am rocking it. Thanks, Deb. Hey, Teresa, good to see you, and another Facebook user in Austin, Texas. And indeed, your YouTube looks good, and multiple vids got over 1K. Nice. Yeah, things are working now. And we've been getting subscribers, which like 20 to 30 a day, which to me is a lot more than the 1 or 2 I was getting. So pretty happy about that. Rich is pure gold. Thanks, Giancarlo. And good to see you, John, in Abbey, UK, and listening from downtown Brickell. Very cool. Oh, hey, Matt. Yeah, Matt, text me. Let's do a Zoom call. This week is kind of a cluster, but next week I'm pretty wide open. Love to talk to you more. Greetings from Bangkok. Wow. Ruben, how is Bangkok? And Luis in Mexico, good to see you, my friend. And Tom in Vancouver. Hey, Tom, with a scaling question. Best way to screen and qualify chief operation officers for our clients to empower them to take the next step. Well, Tom asked, like, what specifically are you looking for in a chief operations officer as opposed to, a business manager or president? Like, I'm just a COO. Yeah, break it down for me a little bit more, Tom, so I can give you more specific advice. Hey, Hugo, good to see you, my friend. Okay, got that. Cool. I am Verlens. Oh, I just went to StreamYard, so my name can now be shown. Very cool, Verlens. I appreciate that you did that. Thank you, man. And Linda from Arizona, and April, in Southern Cal. Camila from Russia. Hey, Camila. And as they grow, we want them to turn day-to-day operations to a COO so they can focus on strategic growth. Yeah, so I would say that generally the ideal scenario, Tom, would be to promote from within someone that really gets a lot of the systems and processes that have already been put in place. If you're going totally external, then once again, I guess it depends on the business, but and what type of business it is. Generally, then I would want to pull from a group of people from industries that would be appropriate for whatever business that you're bringing the person into. Because I just feel that at that level of a COO, if you bring someone in without specific industry experience, I think it's time sucking at the very least. Although I guess the right candidate can always overcome that. But in general, if it's not a move with a skill set that is comparable to the industry that the person would be going into, that would scare me unless I'm promoting from within, which totally overcomes that. Would love to hear your thoughts on Ascension versus Descension when it comes to scaling in the early stages. Thank you. Definitely can talk about that. So Ascension versus Descension. Certainly we'll talk about that. Looking forward to learning more from you, Rich. Oh, cool, John. Glad that you're here. And Hej from Denmark. Good to see you, my friend. These are our clients, all authority entrepreneurs and external hires. Yeah, then you're really looking for a publisher, aren't you, Tom? I mean, you're looking for someone who is running the day-to-day of the business. And I would imagine for many of these authority entrepreneurs that if they're under, I'd say if they're under like $1 or $2 million a year, like they're not really looking for a chief operating officer. They're looking for a virtual assistant that can manage their business. I guess it all depends on their size, but if they have a $5 million business, then they generally already have a team. Someone's managing that team. And then that person I would put on a path to being a COO. But, generally you wouldn't have someone who's managing all their business and then immediately step aside and have a COO run it all. Or at least I wouldn't do that because I think it would be very risky. I'd rather have some internal kind of person first and then grow into that role. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Tom, but it's just that if we're talking about, I guess it depends on the size of the current business. Hey, Rich, what's your best advice for someone who wants to leave the corporate employee and to transition to the entrepreneur? All right, we can talk about that too. All right, so we got, let's see here, guys. I'm just going to make some notes. So we have transitioning. We have Ascension versus Descension. Oh, wow. My screen went off there. That's weird. All right. And wow, it's 2 a.m. in Bangkok. I'm watching with huge interest all the videos of the Coalition to Save Internet Business. Oh, very cool, my friend. Hi, Rich. Best strategy you found to turn membership subscribers into group coaching clients. Okay. All right. Appreciate you, Tom. Let's see. Hey, mate, consider signing up for LinkedIn Live. Heard it's pretty stellar. Yeah, Chris, I want to do that. The plan is to do that on Friday. Any tricks for placing pressure on oneself to succeed? I am like you. I perform well under pressure, but not without. I have some ideas there. So we can certainly talk about that, John. Hi, Rich. I re-enrolled in Ecom Empires Mastermind that it was recommended on our meeting. Let's see. Let's let you know how it goes. I didn't recommend joining that mastermind, Hugo. But in fact, well, I was speaking about you to someone else, getting their opinion, and they had an opinion too, but we can talk about that offline. Today I'm going to watch episode 3 of the series. Very cool, Verlens. I'm not sure what is episode 3, but if it made it into the top 10, I'm sure it will be good. Rich is a U.S. national treasure. I don't know about that. Oh, God, guys. All right, so let's get into it. So first, what I wanted to share, and that'll kind of dovetail, I think, into a few of these topics anyway, is, and let me stand up because I feel like I'm short with this. Huh? Boy, and I'll stand on my special thing that doesn't lock your knees. Hold on. Wow. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm taller now. So, all right. So the one thing that I wanted to make sure I talked about today was cart value. And cart value is the one thing that I would say that in a lot of the marketing material that people study and learn, if it was based on, if it was pre-internet, like if it was written before the times of the internet, a lot of direct response books will look a lot at customer value, you know, lifetime customer or customer lifetime value, right? And that's an important metric. There's no doubt about it. And long term, the business that has the highest customer value will be able to dominate the industry that they're in if they so choose, because they can pay more for a customer than anyone else. That being said, though, if you're an entrepreneurial business and you don't have a war chest of cash, which most entrepreneurs do not, then really at the end of the day, the one number that matters to you more than any other number is average cart value. You know, I wrote this report about, I don't know, about 10 years ago. That was a paid report, so it wasn't one of the free marketing reports out there, but it was called Beyond Traffic. And the idea behind that report, Beyond Traffic, is that you never really have a traffic problem, that all traffic problems are really symptoms of something else. And the number one reason why people have a traffic problem is because they're not able to extract the value that the marketplace has deemed that visitor to be worth. And so let me explain that really quick, okay? That because in the online world, advertising is competitive. And what I mean by is competitive is that, you know, when you buy an ad in a newspaper, what someone else is paying has no influence on you, and how effective their ad has no influence on your ad. That is not the case online. Online, what you pay is determined by what others pay, because all of online advertising is, for the most part, bid-based, which means that you and everyone else in your market that is advertising is competing for the same visitors. And so that sets the price of what a visitor is worth in your niche. Okay. So what you are either able to generate more than that per visitor or less than that. If it's less than that, then traffic is always a challenge. If you're able to generate more than what the industry has bid the value of a visitor to be, if you're able to generate more than that, then you're able to buy traffic consistently and acquire customers. So cart value, average cart value, is one of the most critical. It's one of the most critical metrics in your business, but it is the most critical metric as it relates to growing your business, as it relates to scaling an offer. I just recently come across something I want to share with you guys that I saw. It's a new Samcart feature, and I'm looking forward to interviewing. I just drew a blank. Whoops. But the owner of Samcart, Brian, right? I think it's Brian. About this new feature, because this new feature of his is increasing cart value pretty significantly. In fact, when I first came across it, I immediately screenshotted it and sent it to a bunch of friends. And what this new kind of upsell tactic, I guess you could call it, is, sorry, I've got this huge knot in my shoulder these days, like the last 2 days. So what this cool new feature is order bumps on an upsell page. In other words, okay, so you sales letter, whatever, you go to the order page, there can be a bump or two on the order page, right? You now click, add to my order or complete my order or whatever, right? Now you're going to a upsell page, video on top, making an offer. Then below that offer, though, are 3 more buttons like add to my cart, add to my order, add to my order. And then another upsell page with the main offer, then add to my order, add to my order, add to my order. So in other words, there were 3 bumps per upsell page. And as soon as I saw it, I recognized that would increase average order value pretty significantly. Now, I'm just trying to think in the back of I'm trying to think for a second. I'm pretty sure that one of the opt-in bonuses for the CSIB campaign when we originally did it, and it's still in the Facebook group, at least my slides are, that I did a presentation on a lot of different ways to increase cart value, average cart value. And for when I spoke to all the publishers of worldwide at Agora in France, and so my slides are in the Facebook group and the Facebook group is Strategic Profits. For those of you who are not members, and it's a free group, you can join. And we've had quite a few people actually come from YouTube to join. And if you're watching this and you want to get those free episodes from the docu-series, I can put it right there. That is the link for it, and you can check it out there. All right, so let me go back to comments here, and let's see. All right, let's see. Hi, Rich. I do have one more question. Do you believe it's better to offer a low-price digital information product for, say, $7, or better to offer a high-ticket item such as business coaching or consulting for $5,000? Well, Rajesh, that's the same question that Kayvon asked when he was asking about an Ascension model versus a Descension model. So we will discuss that. So glad that's your question. John Bauer, there's meditate on death, memento mori. When you actually realize that you're going to die experientially through meditation, not just logically through a mere thought, you'll gain a lot of urgency, assuming you're healthy and have enough life energy. That's one way to look at it, Stefan. Coalition to Save the Internet Business. Sorry, I didn't mean it was just mentioned. Yes. Frank Kern does that masterfully. Yes, I saw it on a Frank Kern page. Glad to see you too, Sergi. All right, so let me show you that. Well, how do I show this? Let's see. I think I can. Let's just take a look at this. And can I do share screen? How do I do that? Share screen. Is easy. It works best on a good computer. All right, share screen. Okay, I'm just allowing this to be done, I guess. I gotta validate this. Sorry, guys. I hope this is not. Oh, this is not attached. All right. All right. Oh, well, I can't quit and reopen, so later. Okay, so I guess I can't share. Application window. Share. All right. So, whoa, why you're seeing that? Oh, wow. Hold on a second, guys. This is what happens when you don't know what you're doing. I don't want any overlay, so why is it showing any overlay? There we go. All right. Or no background. Okay, well, that's certainly better. And okay, so this, right? This is the upsell page. Okay, and right, so you can see that it's $97, right, to buy mass control. And over here, in order to, if you wanted to buy that, you would be clicking on this button. Okay, but below that button are 3 other offers here, right? And let's see now. Yeah, you can't. 3 other offers, each for $60. And so it's a very clever way of increasing cart value by allowing for people to add to their order in this way that is not like overly obnoxious, right? So I thought that was a very clever strategy that I saw, and wanted to share that. So, all right, let's kind of talk about, we've talked about average cart value, and I'd love to get some questions from you about average cart value. And if you're getting value from this and you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. If you haven't, given it a thumbs up, comment as well. The more that you comment, the more the YouTube gods of algorithms will share, and same with those of you on Facebook as well. But I would love to get some questions about raising cart value, because it is so critical, and I wonder what it is that you most struggle with, or what questions you have as it relates to that. All right, so let's talk about Ascension versus Descension. So hold on. I just found out that my elliptical machine, which has been broken, and the part was supposed to be delivered. It's already been broken. It's been broken for a while. The part was supposed to be delivered to fix it from Life Fitness at the end of February. It's now been pushed off until April, which really sucks. So I might end up buying another elliptical machine just so I can work out. And I can't, I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't really see it, but I have a huge scar here. There. That was from my last surgery from jumping rope too much. So feel fat and gross because I'm not able to work out the way I would like to. Anyway, Ascension versus Descension. So Ascension is where you go, where Ascension, the model of Ascension is that you acquire customers at the lowest price that you can offer something. Then they get to know, like, and trust you, and over time, then spend more and more money with you. That's the Ascension model, okay? And I don't know that whether, I don't want to say that like Strategic Profits invented the Descension model, because I don't know that that would be true. And I also don't, and I find it hard to imagine that it is true. But when we were back in 2007, the year the iPhone was first invented, the same year that we created the automated webinar, there wasn't very many ways that you could acquire someone at a very high price point out of the gate, right? Most sales floors used a low price product to attract people and then used a call room with, to sell at higher end. So there wasn't really very many channels to acquire someone at a much higher price point at the beginning of the funnel. When we invented the automated webinar, that's what we did. And so we would have people register for what appeared to be a live webinar. And this is back when there were no automated webinars except for ours. So there was no reason for anyone to think it was automated. And that would make them an offer for a $4,000 product. And whatever people, there was a whole sequence behind that to make other attempts at selling that product. But then if we didn't get anywhere with that person, we would then offer a $1,000 product. Then we would offer a $50 a month continuity. And this was over a period of time. That worked much better for us, primarily because of the business. I was integral to the business at that time. And I didn't have, I've never prided myself as being a copywriter. I can educate my way to a sale much better than I can write a piece of sales copy. And so since my strengths were the competitive advantages of Strategic Profits, and my strength was selling through education, and we had a product that we could sell automatically and at a high price point, we did the Descension model. And nowadays, I would say that all things being equal, you're much better off doing a Descension model than an Ascension model. And the reason I say that is that it is, well, I learned this a long time ago. I learned this in retailing, right? Because in retailing, the normal store, right? Not a vertically integrated store, but a store that buys stuff wholesale and sells it retail, right? The average markup is, let's say, 100%. So someone's buying, like the store is buying it for 50, they're selling it at 100, right? So half of the money, right? Half of their gross sales drops to gross profit, right? But from that 50%, for you to have a profitable retailing store, no more than 10% should be rent, right? You only have 50%. So now 10% is rent. Now you have 40%. No more than 15% should be payroll. Okay. So now you're at 25%. There's theft, right? And markdowns. That could be 5%. Now you're down to 20%, right? Then there's utilities. There's electric. There's advertising. That could be another 10%. So very quickly, you're left with, maybe 10% that can drop down to profit. But that's if you are only marking up, 100%. The more margin you have, the more mistakes that can be made, and you still have a profit. It is therefore much, 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 much more challenging to sell something for $5 or $10 or $20 and have that process be dialed in enough to not go really negative on every sale. And then if you go really negative on every sale, you either have to have a very huge bankroll, or you have to really kind of, oh, the bit.ly link on your YouTube video is not working. Oh, that's not good. So does that mean this bit.ly link is not working? Let me just check that out, guys, because that would kind of suck. bit.ly/the CSIB. Let's see. No, it works. I think you're just probably not capitalizing what needs to be capitalized. Yeah. The more margin you have, the easier it is to make work. And in addition to that, so there's that difficulty. Selling something for $7 and having a campaign that you're not losing money on every $7 sale is very hard to do. And in addition to that, right, and we haven't done an experiment like this in years, so I almost hate even mentioning this, like these tests, because it could change. It could change, but since we did this test, but what we found at Agora is that a $7 buyer doesn't buy our back ends like a $49 buyer does and a $97 buyer does. Like, there wasn't a big difference between the $49 buyer and the $97 buyer, but there was a huge difference between the $7 buyer and the 49 or 47 and 97 or whatever. So we found that there was a lot less customer value in a $7 buyer. So there's that. When someone joins Steal Our Winners for the dollar trial, I'm not as excited about that as every other purchase, because like they're not really sold at that point. And that's proven by looking at the retention rate right now from the dollar trials. So there's that. So anyway, so I think that the Descension model, starting out at a higher price point, is easier to do to make work. Doesn't mean that it's easy. It's just easier to make work. I think an Ascension model allows you to grow and allows for you to really build a more stable business. So it is something that you want to get to, but certainly is not necessary to get to in the beginning, because you can sell a lot of back ends as a front end for quite a while. In fact, when we launched Strategic Profits, the way we did 7.4 million in our first year was because we just sold back ends. There was no front ends. There was no customer acquisition tool except our coaching programs. And we made it work primarily through affiliates and free reports. All right, so let's check out where we are here. And I still have, but that's the Ascension, Descension conversation, and should you start at a low price versus a high price? And if you have more questions about that, hit me up. All right. Hi, Rich. I'm managing an info business in the trading niche where we teach day traders to become profitable with a particular strategy. I'm planning to test the challenge type funnel where prospects are invited to participate in a 1 to 2 week challenge to achieve a specific goal that will be taught in a step-by-step mini intro program. The goal is to increase the level of trust before upselling the more advanced complete program. My question is, have you ever launched a challenge type? No, we haven't yet. I'm thinking about doing one real soon. when we do, the reason we haven't done it is that it requires a lot of hand holding. Like if you're going to do a challenge and you're going to do it right, it requires quite a bit of effort on the part of the business, right? Like it's you're not just selling something cheap. You are selling and hand holding usually several hours a day for several days. We've done numerous Steal Our Winners segments on challenges. We did it as early as March of last year. We were talking about challenges and how to leverage them. And I know I've done a few interviews since. It's a great strategy. I'd like to do one around Clubhouse actually right now. And I have some conversations lined up this week to talk about it. But it's a very effective strategy. It is very, very effective as a front-end acquisition tool that does get people to ascend to more expensive products. I would take that's a model that I would say is so effective right now. I would choose that over a Descension model. And so a challenge would be an Ascension model that actually would be the caveat or would be the exception to what I just said. And the reason, because now that I'm thinking about it, we've also, like I did this great interview with Scott Oldford on how he sold well over $1 million in back ends to a small group of people who entered into his challenges. And Mia, who is often on these live streams, she's also a subscriber to Steal Our Winners. She used Scott's strategy and made over $100,000 on it. And so, yes, it is a great strategy. If you don't know, if you're not a member of Steal Our Winners, you should become one just for those few segments, because there are strategies that I haven't seen deployed in very many places. So I hope that helps you, Ruben. But good strategy to use. Taxes. We don't even talk about taxes. I'm just talking about margin. If you make me an offer for a $4,000 or $500 sounds much more reasonable. Yeah, I mean, if you go from high to low, it certainly seems reasonable. And so it's easier ultimately to sell the low. In addition to that, right, like in the model I was explaining about our Descension model, we could look at your behavior. When did you drop off the webinar? If you watched the entire webinar and you bailed because, after I said the price, then we know that the message resonated with you. And because I have a specific philosophy about business that is pervasive in all my products, therefore, if you watched the entire webinar selling the coaching program and didn't buy, but you watched the whole thing, we assume that you resonate with the message, but maybe couldn't afford the product. Now, we don't immediately take you into another product because we found that through follow-up, we could double what we sold on the webinar. Like, in other words, if we sold 5% on the webinar, we would sell another 5% in follow-up. So first we follow up extensively, but then after that, we would drop them into lower price products. But because we knew that they had already aligned with the message or assumed that they aligned with the message, if they hadn't consumed the whole thing, we would try and get them to consume something else, selling first the $4,000 coaching program and then descending from there. But we would try and get them to consume a whole message first, because if they're not resonating with the message, odds are is that they're also not going to be the best prospect for the other products as well. So hopefully, John, that makes sense. Yes, it does work. It's cap sensitive. The one you just gave isn't working. The one you just gave is working, but YouTube isn't. That's strange. All right. It's working, but it has to be caps. Okay. Yep. That's it right there. Wait, where is? All right. All right. I can't see that, but maybe someone else can take a look at that. A high ticket price item would only work once I follow the Ascension business model? No, they would work either way. A high ticket price, it just depends on where you're starting. So in an Ascension model, the high ticket is at the end. In a Descension model, the high ticket is at the beginning. What I'm saying is that it's easier to get your business off the ground. Like if you have no business, of actually starting from a Descension model, which would mean you would start with the high ticket, because a couple of sales can pay for all your traffic, pay for all of the things that need to happen. So that's what I mean. Thank you for answering my question, Rich. Very much appreciate all your feedback. My pleasure, man. Cool. Appreciate all you do for the industry, Rich. Your original manifesto gave me the clarity I needed to grow 2 7-figure businesses in 2 years. Forever grateful for your leadership. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Justin, and would love to one day get a testimonial from you. So maybe we can follow up. Maybe I should take a picture of this screenshot. That's what I'm going to do. See if I can. Hold on, guys. Oh, this is so strange. Oh, I got to do that here. Hold on. All right, now I can do this here. All right. Cool. Rich, I'm building a quiz funnel at the end of which people will be able to choose their preferred next step, low ticket, middle ticket, high ticket, and just subscribe to my list. So far, it's worked great for a product costing $75. What's your take on this funnel? I'd love to see it. If it's working great, then it's working great. And my opinion is kind of irrelevant. So the product cost $7, but how does it, what do you mean low ticket, middle ticket, high ticket if you're saying the product works great for $75? I'm not sure I fully get it. Thank you for the answer. Follow up on starting with a higher end priced offer. Does it apply to different levels of the same product the same way it works for different products? I'm not sure, Kayvon. Because what you're talking about is really much more of a step down in offer, which is somewhat different than what we're talking about when we say a Descension model. Because when I say Descension model, like what we're offering at any given point in time, like the specific offer is we're making an offer for something at this price point. Then when we have not made that sale, we're now trying to make a sale at this price point. And then from there, like if we don't make the sale from this price point, right? I'm not saying like, I don't consider it Descension when you say like you could have this right now at this price point, or this price point. That's really not Descension. That's really more of a step down in price. Very different. Frank was basically erasing the difference between lead magnet and tripwire, engaged subscriber and buyer. $1 is mere the intention to know more than a real spend, right? Do you recommend this? $1 is mere the intention to know more than a real spend? Do you recommend this? Sergi, I'm not really following the question, but if you're asking me, look, when someone has spent even $1, their value is multiple times more than if they just opted in. There is a very big difference between someone who's just opted in, someone who has spent a very little bit of money, and someone who has spent real money, right? So I'm not sure. I do recommend getting someone to spend something. That's certainly, and then getting credit cards on file, right? That's certainly beneficial, but not sure, Sergi, like in relation to what. Hope to smoke a cigar with you one day. That'd be fun. I was thinking about smoking a cigar in here today, but decided not to. Hey, Rich, do I really need my own website in order to sell my business coaching and consulting service? It would be idea, or would it be better to create a Facebook group or community? It depends what you're teaching. If you're coaching and consulting to online businesses who have websites, they might want to know why you don't have your own. Is it necessary? No, it's not necessary. Almost everything is not necessary, because as marketers, part of our skill set should be to positively spin whatever the current reality is as being beneficial, right? That's what marketers do. So totally not necessary, but depending on who your customer base is, it might be very limiting not to have it, but it's not necessary. I would be scared to put it in a Facebook. I would be scared to have everything in a Facebook group, Rajesh, because if you ever lost your Facebook account, which happens, even if you're completely innocent, you would lose your entire business if you had no other means of contacting people and et cetera, and that would not be good. Thanks for explaining that, Rich. I never fully understood the benefit of the Descension model before now. Also, I haven't tried it for my digital businesses just yet, but adding payment plan option, to the checkout for my e-commerce store increased my profits by about 80%. It differs from a layaway type payment plan because the company pays your business up front and then they assume all the risk. Very cool. And I did that in my hypnosis businesses 20 years ago. It's very effective. Rich, which of your marketing reports the most relevant to read right now? I would say, well, where are you, Ivan? I would say it depends on where you are, believe it or not. But I would say, if you were asking me just in general, I would say the Attention Age Doctrine 2 is... I think they're all still highly relevant, but I think the Attention Age Doctrine 2 is the most relevant. Hi, Rich. I would like to ask you if you had some ideas for someone who's just getting started. What is the best way to start? The best way to start is to figure out how you provide value to the world and who would find that what you provide valuable, and to recognize that really the internet is just a way to get your message out to more people, to interact with more people, and therefore to provide value to more people. The world is a huge place. There's billions upon billions of people on the planet who now have access to the internet, which means that no matter how specific or specialized your skill or talent is, there is a group of people that can be found throughout the world that would value what it is you have to offer. And that any attempt to shortcut what I'm saying, to buy into someone's BS story about how you can easily just like replicate this or do that, is trying to sell you a load of crap. And businesses stay in business because they have some kind of advantage. And when you're first starting out, your business will not have an advantage. So the only place that your business can get its advantage in the beginning is from you. And that's why being clear about what value you can provide easily at the start is so important. I hope that helps, Janelle. I think it's better to put the bump up offer in the sales page itself than taking them to another page. Well, no, it's not an either or, Giancarlo. It's an and. In other words, have bumps on the order page. Then when they go to an upsell, have bumps on that upsell. Then when they go to the next upsell, have bumps on that upsell, because all of these are just to increase the average cart value. What is one of the best selling upsell offers you've been in the health or supplement space? I Well, I'd say, Matt, that hold on, I want to see if I can, while we're talking, I want to tell you about one, but let me just see if I can put something else in here for a second. See if I can, where is the, oh, cool. So, all right, so I was out for brunch on a Sunday with Dan Kennedy, Clayton Makepeace, and Michael Masterson, aka Mark Ford, and we were talking about proactive, right? Dan Kennedy, because Dan was highly involved in their marketing, and so what Proactive or Guthrie Ranker discovered was that the average, and I'm going to make up these numbers now because I really don't remember like the actual numbers, but I remember the gist. So when Proactive sells their creams and crap, the average retention is 3 months. If they get you to take the creams and crap plus the supplements, the average like retention is like 8 or 9 months. So when you go through the order process, Proactive you're now going to get the first month free, pay shipping and handling, $15 or something. You know, like I said, I'm just making this stuff up at this point. Then you get to the upsell, and it's like, if you want the vitamins, we'll give you the first month of vitamins for free, and we will eat the shipping and handling. So they were about to pay $15. They're now offered they're offered an upsell. And when they take that upsell, they're getting a second thing, and they're going from paying something to now paying nothing. And so I would say, and in the process took a person that was only going to last 3 months and on average would last 9 months. I'd say that was the most effective health upsell that I ever heard of, and makes total sense. I will show you now the most effective and well, I don't know if profitable, but most effective upsell that I ever did. It's a 2-minute video, and I will play it right now. So this is not a current offer, but here is the upsell. Let me first actually get rid of the comment. So hide that. All right. And now let me show you the upsell. This upsell had like a 78% take rate, which is very high. Hi, Rich Sheffrin here. And I have this that I want to tell you about. But before I tell you about this box with a question mark on it, you can see that there's a flurry of activity behind me, and I'm going to tell you why there's a flurry of activity behind me and why this box has a question mark. But before I do, I want to talk to you about trust. Who do you really trust in the market? If you trusted, they've disappointed you. If you trusted, they've disappointed you. In fact, trust is being decimated each and every day online as people take advantage of entrepreneurs worldwide. So what I wanted to do is a test. I wanted to see how much you trust me, and I also wanted to condition the habit, you could say, of trusting me going forward. Inside this box, I have something that is easily worth 30 times, if not many more times, what I want to charge you. So I want to charge you $30 for what's in this box. My promise to you is that it's worth at least $1,000. And when you get it, you will not be disappointed. My goal is to reward your trust. My goal is so that when you get this box, you think that trusting me was one of the smartest decisions you ever made. And those that don't take this offer regret that choice from this day forward. That's my goal. That's my intention. I'm telling you right up front. And on top of that, I want to remove all risk. So you get this for 1/30 of what I would charge. And in addition to that, if you don't feel it's worth the price, if you don't feel it's 30 times worth the price, then all you need to do is let customer service know, keep the box, keep the material that's in the box, and we'll still give you a refund. But I'm not worried about that, because the truth is that I know that you're going to love what's inside this box. I know you're going to be ecstatic about what's inside this box, and I'm not going to announce it until the actual live stream. So on February 19th, I'm going to open this box. I'm going to reveal what's inside it. And those of you who took me up on this, who trust me, I can promise you, you're going to be richly rewarded for it. So I will see you on the live stream. Hopefully you're one of the people that trusted. Until then, to higher profits and beyond, Rich Sheffrin over and out. Hey, there we go. I don't know how to control videos in StreamYard the way I do in Ecamm, so I can't press stop. But that upsell, like I said, got a 75 to 80, so it was like 78% conversion rate. Selling a $30 box, which added $22 approximately of to the average cart value, right? Because 70. Well, let's just say 80%, right? Times $30 is 24. So $24 per person that saw that is what that was worth in our path. And so that $21 or $24 of additional money into the average cart value allows us then to go out and spend a lot more to acquire customers, right? And that's the name of the game. And that's why average cart value is so important, because if your average cart value is more than the cost to acquire a customer, then you're able to acquire as many customers that are out there, because money is not going to be the barrier. You know, there are so many antiquated entrepreneurs that think that they are getting a customer to make a sale, right? So they're trying to make money on that first sale, which for the most part is an antiquated way of thinking. You don't get a customer to make a sale. You make a sale to get a customer. And when you realize that you make a sale to get a customer, right, then you want as many customers as you can possibly have, because the value of your business is based on the customer list that you have, the fans that you have, the buying public, etc., right? So when you are making a sale to get a customer, if you can make that sale where you're at break even, then you're able to get as many customers as possible. When average cart value is less than what it costs to acquire, yeah, you can scale really easily. When it's lower than the cost to acquire, now you have to have like sequences that monetize, and that already makes things more complicated, makes things more likely, if something breaks, more likely that you are to lose, right? The easiest place to make your business very anti-fragile and ability to scale as easily as possible is having a cart value that's higher. Tom says, Kayvon, our approach is to make the first high ticket offer to include everything to guarantee results for your client, no options, one all-in plan. That makes sense too, Tom. The YouTube video, there are some extra spaces after the link, and they end up in YouTube's forwarding link. Most probably removing the extra spaces will fix it. All right. So I don't know if anyone from my team is on right now, but if you are, please kind of let me know. Babos, I haven't tested yet all the options, just the low ticket one. Now I'm building one where people can choose their preferred next step. Just subscribe to the list. That way I'm not making assumptions. People choose what they want right now. What's your opinion on this? Well, my concern is that letting people pick is fine if they've been sold. If they haven't been sold, then they're not going to pick like anything that's going to net you money, right? So I guess it all depends on what precedes that, Babis. But it can work, and it can work effectively. It's all going to come down to the execution and what you test and what you don't. But I get it. All right, let's see. Yes, Rich, thank you. I mean, $1 is a good spend. Yeah, it's much better than an opt-in, for sure. Hi, Rich. Do you believe that a 5-day challenge still works, as everyone seems to be currently doing them? Yes, they do work. Don't ever not do something because lots of people are doing something. They work, and they work well right now, which is why so many people are doing them. More engagement than just click and download the checklist for free. All right. I'd love to help you moderate your Clubhouse room on this topic. I will tee you up to a whole new segment I've been selling copy to. Sydney, I don't know if you're talking to me. If you are, message me in Facebook. Or maybe you're talking to Ivan. Thanks. I'm not sure. Hey, from near Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, Nina, did you just hear that there was a mistake in the link in the video that someone mentioned above in YouTube that Vincenzo put in? Like there's extra spaces or something. If you could take a look at that, I owe you one. Amen, Rich. Your message is as relevant today as when you wrote the manifesto. Thanks, man. Rich, this page doesn't seem to provide the links to download your reports. Don't know what that link is, so I'd have to look at it. Ellen says, hey, Nina. I want it. The mystery box. The mystery box upsell. Yes, LOL. Major value, man. Thanks for sharing that one. Yeah. The box is invaluable. Yeah, I mean, we put like more than $3,000 in it. There was the media buying boot camp that we take all of the new hires at Agora that are going to be media buyers through. I think it had the copywriting boot camp in it too. So that's like $6,000 worth of courses. Then it also had a bunch of other stuff of mine. So yeah, it was, I know it had the media buying boot camp. I'm pretty sure it had the copywriting one, but I'm not 100% positive. And it was really an over-the-top offer that I wanted people who trusted me to be happy that they trusted me. And so I figured, make an offer, don't share what's in it so that no one has a reason to say no, then over-deliver and see what happens. Ian Davis, long time no speak. I thought the box was a demonstration and not for real. No, that box was, well, there was, I made that wasn't scripted. They just threw me a box and I just went with it, and that worked. And, but it was real. I mean, we sold it, and we sold a lot of them, as you can see from all the people behind me packing them. Do you know? LOL. Do I know what? John. Hey, Ellen. So good to see you. Rich provides such great knowledge. You're in for a treat. Thanks for reminding me to share. Oh, thanks, Nina. Thanks, Nina. You make a sale in order to get a customer. Yep. Verlens. Hi, Rich. I'm a Facebook ads manager with about 1.5 years experience. So far, I've been working for a single company. My skill is sharpening. I would love to start taking on a few clients, but I kind of feel unsure about how to get into this. Maybe because of a lack of confidence, since I'm from Haiti and there are very few people in my city or country who are into online marketing. Like a stranger, what would you recommend me to do? P.S. I came across your report, The Hidden Obstacles. Oh, cool. Well, so Verland's like, the company that you are working for, are they e-commerce? Are they info? And what would you say you are currently best at? Like what? give me some understanding of what you think you bring to the table, so that then I can point you in a direction where I think you should go. Oh, thanks, Nina. You rock. And Nina, let's schedule some one-on-one time so I can help you with something, because you've been helping me a lot. Rich, I built that sales calculator that will help people understand their order value. It can also tell people which course of yours they could use next. I know you love that calculator, man. Rich, I'm in Justin Goff's list, but he never pitches me. I had 3 days. I had 3-day emails with him already with tips and mindset. I wonder when he will pitch. What's your take on this, since you advised last week that you must sell in every email? I don't think you have to sell hard in every email. And I'm not saying that there should be a sales intention in every message, right? Even if you're just delivering value. I assure you that Justin will be making you an offer. Goes without saying. Justin is a very good marketer. Jordan asked Grant what his old door to new door ratio was. What's the sweet spot? Grant said no sweet spot, but everyone had a funnel signature. I don't even know what that means, Dean. But then also, Grant says that sales training doesn't work and it's just a numbers game. Grant says a lot of things. Grant says that you shouldn't prioritize. You should just do everything. 10X. How do we follow you on Clubhouse? Is it just your name? Yep, it's just Rich Sheffrin. It's an e-commerce company that sell personalized handcrafted jewelry. I've been getting some great results lately with a good return on ad spend. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I would try and find other people who are doing in the same business. Or there's a company in Tampa. The owner's name is Eric, and he does drop shipping of personalized handcrafted jewelry. And he has people from all over the world like selling his and he has people selling his product all over the world. I would imagine if you're good at selling handcrafted jewelry, that you could probably be, instead of going and getting clients, doing it for yourself, making the spread. I don't know if anyone who's on this live stream knows the Eric that I'm talking about. I think he lives in Tampa. He's got reddish hair. Let me just see. I might even know his last name. Hold on. Eric. Let's see. Nope. Oop, Eric. Is that? Nope. Okay. Yeah. Eric Toz, T-O-Z. That's the guy who owns the company that has that e-commerce business in the gift-giving space of handcrafted jewelry that I think you might be able to take a step, instead of getting a client, start doing some freelance stuff for yourself and make more money. Might be a good place to start. And the next comment I'm not even going to comment on, but it certainly comes across that way sometimes. Anyway, all right, so let's see. What else should we talk about, guys? Oh wow. Sorry. That's weird. I'm seeing weird lights right there. All right. Cool. Yeah, so let's see, guys. What else should we talk about? You tell me. You tell me. Any tips on how to improve? Okay, let's take a look at this. Any tips on how to improve the email opening and link click ratio in your contacts list? And what do you think some good metrics are. Well, what's working best is altering the from, as I think my friend Matthew, who was commenting earlier, would probably attest to. But the most important thing is that you're not mailing to people who haven't opened in quite some time, because that ruins your email reputation. And, you know, you really want to throttle down the emails that you're sending to people who are not opening. And that is that is what is most important. And I just did a segment in Steal Our Winners with Fernando Cruz that is all about that. Giancarlo, you're making me laugh. Let's talk about chicks. I'd love to, but then I'd get in trouble. My pressure question from earlier. Okay, we can talk about that, even though Stefan thought he answered it. Grant didn't seem to care. People don't understand lifetime customer value. Clickbait. How to craft marketing messages for software. What is the process? All right, let's go back up here first. All right, well, so a couple different things, John. The first thing I would say is, like, let me answer your question directly. If you only work under pressure, then the easiest way to get yourself to do stuff is to put yourself in pressure situations, right? And that then, it all depends on how real it needs to be for you. Like, is it real enough if you set a timer and tell yourself you're only going to work on a project for the next 60 minutes or 30 minutes, and it's something that has to get done, right? Is that enough pressure? If it's not enough pressure, is it enough pressure to take your laptop without any, like, plugging in material, right? And that, you know, so you can't plug it in, so the battery's going to drain. And when it drains, you're done and you're not going to be working anymore because you won't have it. You'll be dead, right? Like, is that enough? Or do you need to take it to the next level and promise someone that you respect and admire that you're going to send it to them? Or do you need to have money on the line and your total reputation? All right. These are all stair-stepping levels, and only you can decide what is necessary. Okay. But what I would also say, and I don't want to, like, wax on philosophically too long about this, but it's something I share all the time. And no matter, and the reason I would like to share this even more often because it's so true, but, like, we as human beings, for the most part, can't take it as true until we experience it for ourselves. And that is that there is no goal that is going to make you happy for any length of time. That's just the truth. That no matter what goal you think, when you achieve, life is going to be radically different than it is today. Unless you're making less than $75K a year, that's not true. And so now no one, like, most people can't really get their head around that. They don't really believe that if they won the lottery today, that a year from now, they would be no more happy than they are today. But that's what all the research shows, right? That's what everything shows, and yet we can't, right? So why do I bring that up? I bring that up because, John, if you really get that getting the goal is not going to be the thing, then if the goal is not lighting your fire and getting you into fucking action, then you don't have the right goal. And so what I am, like you, right? Like, that I needed that pressure. But what's even better is recognizing that the only reason to have a goal is to get you out of bed in the morning and to take action. And so if the goal that you have right now, you need pressure to get into action to go after, then what I would implore you to do, and it might not be easy, and you might not first get clarity, but I can assure you that if you spend enough time, you should try and figure out goals that actually you don't need pressure, like you look forward to going after, that it's because the whole purpose of the goal is to get you engaged in life. And when you're sitting on the sidelines needing pressure to get engaged, it means that probably you're choosing a goal that is really not lighting your fire. It's really like a societal goal, and it's not something that you're going after like it mattered. And so that is not what you're asking me. I tried to answer the question you asked me first, but what I wanted to share with you is that the real long-term solution is figuring out goals that do charge you, that you don't need pressure to go after, that they light a fire under you. Yes, sir. Very hard lesson to learn. Cut the unopens. I almost view it as a reverse double opt-in these days. Only male engagers and thou shalt prosper like never before. Yeah, so Matt knows more about email than I do. And there you go, guys. That's what Matt and I were talking about on a boat in Miami a week plus ago. Rich, do you take any muscle building supplements or protein shakes? Which ones do you recommend? I don't take any muscles. Well, I don't really take any muscle supplements or protein supplements. I take a ridiculous amount of supplements, nootropics, and nutraceuticals. And one of these days, maybe I will bust out the 100 different things I take on a daily basis. Hey, Joe, how is Italy treating you? Hey, Rich, long time no see. Yeah, David, what tips do you have for starting and growing a channel on YouTube? What kind of videos would you start doing? B2B services targeting CEOs and entrepreneurs with existing businesses who want to make their sales processes more scalable and predictable. David, I would look at the traffic that you get to your website. I would look at the top keywords of the people that have more than one page view. And I would start thinking whichever ones are getting you the best people, I'd make videos on that first, because YouTube is the, if not, it's either the second best search engine or the first best search engine. And so odds are is that right now, the only traffic you're getting from organic would be social and search. And if you can isolate the search phrases, those would be the YouTube phrases I'd go after first. Will I take the COVID vaccine? Yeah, I probably will. But maybe I'll take the Johnson & Johnson one-shot one as opposed to the two. Hedonic adaptation. Yeah. We all are on the hedonic treadmill, and therefore, we just can't fully appreciate that our life is going to be more or less the same, how we feel internally. Life is an internal experience that we mistake for an external one. And we somehow think that when we get something external, something internal is going to change, and it doesn't work that way. And therefore, it's really about goals that keep you engaged in the day-to-day of life. And at least from my perspective, I do believe in free will. I don't believe in determinism, but I also think that we have a lot more freedom than we actually do. I will install this later. All right. Rich, profound advice on goals in life. You're right. Most won't get it. Rich, you can make what you just said about goal setting and else a video in itself, man. Okay, then that's what I'll do. That totally makes sense. Great advice, Rich. Thanks. Cool. Most people are using social media to promote their networking MLM businesses. What do you feel works best if you're going down this route, or is there a better way in your eyes? I have had to rethink business as my student tour business had to close for now during COVID. John, I would just say that I'm not the biggest fan of multi-level marketing. I think that anyone who does well in multi-level marketing would do well outside of it. I know that that's a generalization. I know that there are some people that do very well with network marketing, but they are an exception, and it's and you're not in total control of your fate. And I just am not a huge fan. Having said that, though, I haven't really ever been that involved in network marketing. But when I share that thought with anyone who has been, they agree. So what I would say, John, is just be careful. There are a lot of people out there that will make you a lot of promises, especially in multi-level marketing. And for most people, most of the time, it doesn't end well. And I would question why you think that the opportunity in this MLM is different than any other one, like as far as what the net result will be for you. Hey, Rich, your comments about emails and open rates. Did you say more is on a recent Steal Our Winners? Yes. I think the most recent Steal Our Winners had, let me just check, had Fernando's in it, unless I'm that far ahead, which I don't think I am, but let's take a look. Let's get rid of that. All right. And then, oh, maybe it's not. Maybe, wow, is the next one already? Wow. No, it's in next month's, I think. Wow. That scares me that we're that far ahead. So apologize about that, but it will be in next month's. Rich, do you do any SEO, and what are your thoughts about it? The only SEO we're doing right now is YouTube SEO, hence the emails about us getting ranked, which has been going really good. Hey, Rich, what goals are better, SMART or BHAG? I do understand that's a loaded question. I would say for what I'm talking about, a BHAG, but I guess it also depends on your frame, like how you operate. As someone who is much more adaptable than high follow through, I need my goals to get me to take action and move. I'm inherently lazy. And so for me, it's not about having a plan that I can methodically do every day, because a plan that I methodically do day in and day out to me is the most like revolting thing as someone who likes a lot of variety and has ADD. So for me, the goal is just about me getting into action. If it gets me to take action, if it gives me a reason to get out of bed, excited about my day, then it's doing its job. Any metrics on email open rates? When do you know you're in trouble and need to clean up the list? Matt would probably give a better answer than I. I don't know, like, but I'm not an expert at this, right? Like, I just did a segment on it, and now we have to adjust our policies, which scares me quite a bit. But I would say that I'm probably, like, right now, we're lucky to get a 20% open rate, which I would assume is problematic. Will I watch the fights this week? And who do you think is going to win? You know I'm watching the fights this weekend. So I'm going over to Mike Filsane's house. He was here this weekend with Glenn Ledwell and Mike and Michelle, and Glenn and Stephanie were here. And Glenn and Stephanie are flying back to Vegas, but Mike and Michelle, they live up in Wellington. And so we were talking about the fights, and I think I'm going up there to watch the fights over at Mike's house because he's got a cool video room. And I think I'm really bad at picking winners of fights, but if you're asking me, I think Nunes will win. I think Adesanya will win. And I think Aljamain will win. What's your software to stream? The software I'm using today is StreamYard. Do you happen to have any thoughts on how I could create an offer that would help my clients in scaling their newly acquired staffing agency? The company they bought it from only got clients by word of mouth, so they don't have any systems or processes to plug into. All right. Well, so Teresa, it's first about like who are the people that the staffing, what industries does the staffing agency currently serve? What are the customers that are the best in the current staffing business? And then once you know that, then it's about how do I find more people like that? And since we don't know what, or I don't know what that like that group is, I can't tell you anything more, but you need to figure that out. And then the goal is, right, is to clone more customers like that. And so you would target that type of customer on the different platforms, but maybe you have more info and you can share it, and then I'll tell you more. Life is an internal experience that reflects a person's external experience. No, it doesn't. Life is just an internal experience. It really has very little to do with the external experience. It has to do with what we internally think about that external experience, but it has nothing to do with the external experience at the end of the day. It's an inside job. Yes, true. Over in Highland Beach. At what age did I start online? I started in 2002. And I first learned direct response from Jay Abraham, Dan Kennedy, Gary Halpert, Clayton Makepeace. When I got online, I learned from Stephen Pierce and Armin Morin and everyone else, you could say, right? Everyone I've coached, I've learned from, etc. Rich, do you believe in the law of attraction? I don't believe in it like that's enough. Given the email info is not Unsteal Our Winners until next month, what do you recommend as a resource to dial an email? You mentioned a chat with Matt. Was that recorded? No, that wasn't recorded, but the chat with Fernando is in Steal Our Winners or will be in 26 days. And what you can start doing right now is recognizing that anyone that's been on your list for, let's say, 90 days and hasn't opened an email is hurting you tremendously, and they should be throttled down to maybe one email a month. Anyone that hasn't opened an email in the last 30 days, you really need to throttle down as well. And then you want a list of people that are opening your emails to always email first. That's how I would start. What should I do with my calculator? Dean, I don't know. Like, there's not a lot of take on that. So I think you just need to move on. Any thoughts on Cuomo? I never liked him. Don't say your age, Rich. They want to leak it. I'm 50. Or will be in 11 days. All right, guys. I think we're out of questions. I think we should call it a day. And we're going to talk more about scaling on Thursday. Then we're going to go over to like biohacking and nootropics next week, I think. I think I want to kind of break the business, marketing conversations, since I have them all day long every day, and just spend a little bit of time talking about something else for a week. But anyway, yeah, so we'll do the Thursday live stream. I will make sure to have more stuff as it relates to average cart value, like how you raise that. I'm surprised I didn't get more questions on that, so I'm looking forward to actually kind of thinking about the questions for you guys. And Renan, I will answer that question on Thursday if you ask me. And don't do deceptive shit. That would be my answer. The guys from Raging Bull were sleazy, to say the very least. Agora does some sleazy stuff from time to time. You know, I think that when you keep your nose clean and you don't take advantage of people, you generally don't have problems with the government. That could be simplistic thinking, but that's what I believe. My pleasure, Rajesh. Hey, Dean, Deb, Giancarlo. Yes. Being told using a landing page is far better than using a regular website. How would you use a landing page and where would you use it? Well, a landing page is just basically send people when you're sending people from somewhere to somewhere. Instead of sending them to a website, you're sending them to an individual page that could be on a website, but it's a landing page. But you know, it all depends where they're coming and what you're trying to sell them. Thanks. See you Thursday, Teresa. Change work systems. Cool. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. I will see everyone on Thursday. Till then, to higher profits beyond. Sheffrin over and out.